Sometime today, you're going to get up, walk into another room, and completely forget why you went there. It's going to happen. You just don't know when yet. You'll be standing in the kitchen, staring at the fridge, or in the closet, staring at your own clothes, completely blank. For a long time, we just called this a senior moment, proof you're getting forgetful, your brain too overloaded with information. That's not what's actually happening. Your brain isn't failing. It's doing exactly what it was built to do. And the trigger isn't your memory. It's the door. This is called the doorway effect. And once you understand it, you will never look at a doorway the same way again. Let's start with the experiment that proved this is real. In 2011, cognitive psychologist Gabriel Radvansky at the University of Notre Dame ran a study that sounds almost too simple to matter. He had people pick up an object, carry it a short distance, and then try to recall exactly what it was. Half the time, that short distance was inside the same room. The other half, it required walking through a doorway into a different room. Same distance, same time, same task. The only thing that changed was a door. And the doorway made people noticeably worse at remembering, slower, less accurate, as if part of the information had simply been left behind on the other side of the threshold. Here's the part that should really bother you. Radvansky didn't stop at the real world. In related work, he tested the exact same idea inside a fully virtual environment, a simple 3D space people navigated using a joystick on a computer screen. No real walking, no real legs moving, no real door swinging open. The effect still showed up. That detail wrecks the obvious explanation. This isn't about the physical effort of walking or your balance or your legs getting tired. Something about merely crossing a boundary, even a fake one, made of pixels, was enough to make your brain quietly let go of what it had just been holding on to. So what's actually happening inside your head? Psychologists call it event segmentation. The theory, developed extensively by researchers like Jeffrey Sachs at University of Washington, says your brain doesn't experience your day as one long, unbroken stream. It chops it into pieces, into scenes, almost exactly the way a film editor cuts a movie. Think about how a film works. One scene ends in a kitchen, the next scene opens in a car, days later. Nobody has to explain the time and location changed. Your brain just accepts it instantly. New scene, new context, new information. Your brain does the exact same thing to your real life, constantly, without asking permission. Every time you finish a conversation, switch tasks, hang up a phone call, or walk through a door, your brain quietly closes the file on what just happened and opens a new one. That's called an event boundary. And doorways are one of the cleanest, strongest event boundaries that exist in ordinary life. New walls, new objects in view, new room. Your brain reads all of that as one simple instruction. This is a new scene now. And here's the catch. When your brain opens that new scene, it doesn't leave every prop from the last one sitting out on the desk. It puts them away first. The thing you were carrying, the reason you stood up in the first place, the sentence you were halfway through saying, all of it gets filed into the closed scene. Still there, just not sitting on the desk anymore. You have to go digging for it. Which is exactly why the fix actually works. If you've ever walked back into the original room and instantly remembered what you forgot, that's not luck. Psychologists call it context reinstatement, and it connects to one of the oldest, most reliable findings in memory research. Your memory isn't stored as pure information floating free. It's stored attached to the scene you were standing in when you formed it. Walk back into that scene, and your brain reopens the file. It's part of why detectives sometimes walk witnesses back through a location, step by step, instead of just asking them to remember from a chair across town. The room isn't decoration. The room is part of the memory. And here's a detail almost nobody talks about. We've been encoding this exact idea into language for thousands of years, long before anyone studied it in a lab. In ancient Rome, doorways had their own god, Janus, not a god of war or love or harvest, but specifically a god of thresholds and transitions, the exact moment of passing from one state into another. The Romans believed crossing a doorway mattered enough to deserve its own deity. Janus is where we get the name for January, the threshold months between one year and the next. It's also where we get the word janitor, which originally meant, quite literally, doorkeeper. For thousands of years, humans treated doorways as something significant, almost sacred, with no neuroscience to explain why. It turns out they were onto something. Crossing a threshold really does mark a boundary, just not a spiritual one, a cognitive one. So the next time you walk into a room and go completely blank, you're not malfunctioning. You're not losing your memory. Your brain is doing the one job it has quietly done since long before doors even existed, closing one scene completely so it can fully commit to the next. If your brain held on to every single detail of every single moment, never letting any of it go, you wouldn't end up with a sharper memory. You'd end up paralyzed, drowning in your own footage, unable to focus on anything directly in front of you. So the next time you're standing in your kitchen with absolutely no idea why, don't panic. Just walk back to the couch. Your brain already filed it away safely. You just have to go open it again.